Before we review negotiability, be careful again reading the Uniform Commercial Code. You'll see that the UCC is specific about the use of terms and their meanings and their effect as they are instruments. But a promissory note has different terms attached, so does a draft. In reading the UCC, you'll find them often written side by side, promissory note next to or in the same discussion of a draft. But they do follow different tracks. They do have different approaches or effects in law. The definition on page 5 of negotiability is critical, and again, I don't find this information to be something you can paraphrase easily. I would recommend, again, memorizing it. What makes a negotiable instrument? A writing signed by the maker or the drawer. Now notice the two terms side by side. Maker references promissory notes. Drawer references drafts. Again, be careful in your reading. It is an unconditional promise or order to pay a certain sum of money, fixed, payable, and at demand or at a definite time. Well, at demand would typically infer drafts. Indeed, there are some promissory notes that are payable on demand, but we're not dealing with that level of complexity here. So, typically speaking, think of drafts and all other forms of drafts, checks, cashier's checks, teller's checks, as payable on demand. Then payable to order or bearer, or in the shortened version, PTO. PTO references drafts as well as bearer references promissory notes. So consider what doesn't affect negotiability. The instrument may have omitted a date. It may have been post-dated even, but these omissions don't matter to its negotiability. So let's look at slide 6 regarding post-dating, because many people have a common misunderstanding about post-dating. Consider that I say, would you please hold my check for the next week because I don't have any money in my account. As you agree, I then write the check. However, your agreement does not affect the check's negotiability. It is merely your agreement with me, perhaps just a promise and not even a contract. Thus, you can still present my check for payment. It is an order instrument. My bank, which I've ordered, is obligated to pay if indeed there's money in that account. So we should all reference our own bank customer agreements to read about the right of the bank to offset any losses it incurs through an overdraft. My bank does have the right to pay, but not to pay if indeed there's money missing or not there. Or it can pay its own money on my behalf of me and then charge me that overdraft fee. Have you known anyone who has a bank account who was charged for writing a check over the amount of the account? And did that bank charge that person an extra fee? Because they can be very costly, especially if you've written several checks that bounce. But the post date does not affect its ability to be presented or negotiated in any way. So it would be a mistake to assume that the person who received your check is bound somehow and cannot present your check, in other words, cannot negotiate your check. Let's look at page 7, handwritten over typed. So why is that? Because if indeed the handwritten portion is not consistent with the typewritten portion, the handwritten will be deemed to be the applicable portion to make the instrument negotiable, because the handwritten is more purposed, it's more intentional than typewritten. And also the same is true for words over numbers. When you write out words on a check amount, the words preempt the numbers. The words will control. Why is that? Because the words are more intentional. So let's discuss negotiability briefly in the next series.